Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. Hope everyone's doing okay. Thank you for tuning in, really appreciate it. Shout out to all the subscribers as always. Very grateful for anyone that stopped by. If you're new, welcome along. Let's talk about this event that I was at a couple of weeks ago. I'm sure you heard about it. It was a huge event. I didn't know it was going to be such a big event. Shout out to my man Cuba Morgado. He was down at the Boxraw Ringside Turkey Al-Sheikh event, right? That was in Brooklyn.
It's a pro sparring, and you know, we get an opportunity to show out, to showcase.
2 Fridays ago down, right? And Cuba asked me to come along to you know, just check out the event, get some content for him. And as I'm talking throughout the video, I'll pull clips up from my footage when I was there. 'Well, most of it's from my footage. Some of the footage I'm going to get from the Ringside YouTube channel, just to bring in some of the highlights and stuff.
Right here in the middle of Brooklyn, New York, an event like no other we've ever seen, and we're calling it Dog City Sparring Club. And here comes Mike Austin. Mike Austin, oh, whoa! Huge right hand. Hook. Taylor, it's all Taylor on offense right now to right hand. Oh!
Yeah, it was a great event, to be honest. There are DJs there, so we're going to talk about that because I like to bring in a bit of art. I'm also going to talk about a bit of science, where I sat down with Cuba a couple of weeks ago now. We were in the gym and he was talking about dropping that back foot for a left hook to the body, which I find interesting. But, you know, first things first, let me explain what the event was. It was for an audition to fight on the Canelo Bud Crawford undercard, right, which is a fantastic opportunity.
Pressure bust pipes.
Well, they want that
yeah, that's what they
physical
want.
Style, so you
know,
fit right in. And you
exactly.
can box too, though.
Yeah, I can box,
Yeah.
but I definitely rather fight. I love fighting, but I can definitely box. I can definitely box. You can do a little bit of everything, but that's what they want to see, and I'm just blessed. I'm blessed with the opportunity to go there, and for my coach, for you, for the exposure, everything.
Yeah.
I'm excited. I'm excited.
I'll be there. I'm going to get some footage actually. So
for sure.
We'll bring some of that through.
For Cuba, you know, he got invited into that, and basically it's open sparring, but professionals. And there were some names there, you know. There was Kurt Scooby, Khalid Twaiti, who actually is he's basically almost a veteran now. Shout out to Gleason's Gym in the house. He was invited along there. There was I'm trying to think, Jaleel Hackett was there. There were quite a few names. Calvin Ford, Tank's trainer, was there. Actually, Cuba ended up fighting or sparring one of his fighters, and Cuba really did a job on him.
and to show that pressure.
I was ringside for that. I was trying to get as much footage as I could from every angle. The few lights were in the way, do you know what I mean? I was having a hard time getting a clear view for long enough because, as I said, there were people moving around and stuff like that. But, you know, that was, he really got that kid, really, and he put on a good show. So I don't know who actually got selected, who didn't. Turki was there, Eddie Hearn was there, Anthony Yard, David Benavidez, Brian Norman Jr. Abdullah Mason. You know, I think they must have been promoting it for the Riyadh season card, which, you know, all those names are fighting each other. Perhaps they had to be there for promotional reasons, but they were all sat in the chairs. You know, it was a cool event. I was watching it as a DJ. I'm a DJ as well, and I was thinking, you know, when the DJ was playing music, I thought to myself, imagine if you're boxing, right, and all of a sudden your favorite song comes on that you're really like into it and gives you a lot of motivation. I was thinking about when Cuba came on to go and request one of his favorite songs to give him a bit of energy, but turns out I didn't need to because he put on such a good performance. But, you know, artistically, it was an interesting event to have that going on. They had a bunch of merchandise at the back. The queue to get into this place was astronomical. And Cuba, I love you, brother, because I wouldn't do that for anybody. I had to queue up for about an hour and 20 minutes. It's a while since I've queued up like that, but it was worth it. And I'm glad I got the footage for him. I'm glad I'm doing this video for him because, you know, he's going to be making his way through the ranks, and all this way I'm going to be doing my best to cover him. And, you know, I'm going to put some footage on this as well with him and Don on the pads recently. You know, that was about 2 or 3 weeks ago as well, where, you know, I just like to take different angles, maybe put some music on it and just watch the development of a very good fighter coming through. Local New York and get the best out of himself. I mean, this kid trains exceptionally hard, and, you know, I mean, he really believes in himself. And I've got a lot of respect for that. That's why I'm covering a lot of stuff. You know what I mean? I really believe in him, so I'm like, you know what? I'll definitely help you out, bro. He's a Gleason's gym. I was gonna say student, but, you know, he's coming through. I don't know what word I'm looking for. Gleason's gym professional fighter that is looking to make a name for himself and the gym. How about that? And then, you know, obviously we got Khalid Twaiti there, and Speedy Duarte. Shout out to you guys, and Don Saxby, all the crew there as well. Do you know what I mean? I'm probably missing a bunch, but I'm just gonna talk about the people that I'm talking about in this video. But with the science that I was talking about, with the left hook to the body, right? Now, I've always thought when you throw a left hook to the body, and, you know, I just practice it in the gym. You know, I'm not a fighter like these guys. I fought in the amateurs a long time ago, just as a novice, but I like to practice my technique and stuff like that. And I was just hitting the bag one day, and Cuba was like, bro, drop your back foot. And I was like, huh? Because I always just knew it as turning your front foot, right, like that. And when you drop the back foot, and I spoke to Don about this too, he's like, yeah, not only are you transferring weight a little bit better, you kind of drop, and so you keep yourself in a better position, right? And you don't, if you miss the left hook, if you turn in the front, you can leave yourself off balance. But there's a better shift of weight, there's a better stability, and I found it fascinating. And I'll put up clips from Cuba talking about the left hook to the body.
Before we get on to the Zepeda fight, Stevenson, I always like to touch on a little bit of art and science on this channel. A couple weeks ago I was talking to you, you were talking about that left hook to the body. I got a little bit of footage with you and Don doing it. If you can explain the mechanics behind dropping your back foot. Remember
where it's more, you would turn your shoulder like as if you were dipping, like as if you were slipping. You would turn your shoulder, and then when you turn your shoulder, right? you don't move your front foot. Yeah. You would turn your shoulder and crank with the back.
You drop the back foot.
Yeah, you would drop the back foot.
And Don was saying,
boom. So you're still in place. You're in place to come back. This one, then bring the other one. So it's like
you're transferring the weight.
Yeah, you're transferring the weight, and you're staying in position to throw, to block, like, and that's just.
Yeah, it kind of blew my mind a little bit because I was like, it feels like you don't always have to turn the front foot, but I was like, hey, turn the back foot. And I was
A
like,
lot of
oh,
times it just depends, you know. You change the speed, you change the mechanics of a punch. Like with the hook, especially to the head, you could arm punch it. You're not supposed to, but you could arm punch it to just throw the guy off, and then you could just do a little pivot. You could step on it, you know. You could, as you slip, come over. Like there's like it's kind of like an upward, like a jab type of hook over, and then the body shot is the same thing where you could shovel, or you could go over, and then the shovel you would kind of like, you know, like go in. You wouldn't turn and pivot.
Shot,
and the scientific approach, because I do like to bring in a bit of science to this channel. And just, you know, the art as well. That's the theme on this channel. So if you are new, you're always going to get that. And I'm trying to come off a boxing schedule a little bit and just focus on more of the things I'm talking about. And, you know, maybe it's a video on Cuba and we'll talk about something related to what he's doing. But, you know, for now, that is it. I just wanted to give my thoughts on this event. You know, some people criticized the event. They were saying that, you know, it was a bit weird for Turkey to be sat there and auditioning these fighters as if they didn't have like a say to be there or something. He said they found it a bit inhumane. It was weird. You know, at the end of the day, you got to look at it from a fighter's perspective. If you're being invited into that, it's a massive opportunity to have to fight on the Canelo undercard. You're choosing to go there. Yeah, Turkey's there, but I mean, I don't see how people can come to the conclusion. You just got to listen to what the fighters are saying. And you know, it did seem like a good event. And as I said, the promotion for it was for that rehab card. But you know, the amount of people that showed up. I mean, it was a successful event. It really was. It was a lot of fun. You know, there was some disorganization there with some of the fighters. Apparently some fighters were coming in and just going in and sparring, and you know, this couple of guys got knocked out or somebody got knocked out. He got hit on the side of the head, and then the back of the head he definitely got wiped out. And then there were a couple other guys that got, you know, dropped, and it was entertaining for sure. And I think they're probably going to end up doing that again because it was very successful. But I just wanted to make this video to, you know, big up my man Cuba. Shout out to you, bro. And drop some footage. I'm going to do a separate video of him and Don with some music, you know, when I can get around to that, because I've got to go away for a few days now. But I'll be dropping that, you know, more of a DJ thing, you know, music and beats and stuff like that. But that's it from me for now. Let me know what you think in the comments. Smash the like button if you enjoyed it. Write a comment if you enjoyed it. Hit the subscribe button if you enjoyed it. Thank you. Take care.
Boxing.